Okay. So before going to summary, I just want to show high level what are the announcement I really like, and that's I just put some of the snapshots. First is Microsoft and OpenAI. There is a whole lot of plugins. Okay, that's they introduced, and second thing, this is one of the I will say this is one of the interesting announcement, which is Microsoft Fabric. Why I'm saying this is one of the interesting announcement, because earlier, if whoever knows, Microsoft has different stack of technologies in data platform, data journeys is concerned, but it does not have much engagement towards end-to-end analytics. Especially it is lacking up to some extent for analytics part. Okay, that is where actually, if I tell you actual the fact, the Snowflake was there in the picture. Okay, so Microsoft has Azure Synapse Link, but it is not end-to-end capable to give the features what Snowflake was giving. And now Microsoft Fabric is just exactly same what Snowflake is giving. So basically, we can say it is a complete package for the data platform to make the data journey simple. Okay, so they introduced one lake is all other things. If you can, we will go further to discuss what exactly that. So now another one I really like, this is Windows Copilot. If you can see, that is your Office 365 Copilot. If you can see, it is Copilot is introduced there. Then this is your you can see this is one of the demo Microsoft 365 Copilot. How exactly it is moving on. There is no audio on this. It's a GIFMS. So basically, if you can see how it is moving towards and seamlessly opening Copilot there, inviting others to collaborate, and all other features. Okay. So, and another thing, another announcement is your Power Automate has custom actions, which is really helpful. And it was actually, I believe, much awaited feature, those who are using the RPA. Okay. Because it will give them more flexibility to do the customization and all other things. So this is also one of the announcement. So ONNX runtime, I did not explore much. Maybe if any one of you explored this, we can discuss on that. And this is your Windows Copilot. Okay, that is also announced in uh, our build 2023. And this is your GitHub monitor in the dashboard format. You can see all other in a one shot. And now let me summarize what exactly Microsoft Build is bringing. It's innovation in cloud AI, transformative industry solutions, intelligent connectivity through AI and IoT technologies, collaborative development through open source initiative, trustworthy security and compliance solutions, empowering developer tools and services. So cloud and AI intelligence solution point of view, what they introduced, Azure AI, harnessing the power of artificial intelligence, cognitive services, machine learning, synapse, digital twins, all were there powered virtual representations. Industry solutions, there are different industry solutions are there. And then A's and IoT technologies, I think Sanjeev sir can say much about that, because if you can go and follow his LinkedIn, you can see a lot of demos, presentation, and all these things he prepared. Actually, you really enjoy to looking into that. And then open source initiatives are GitHub platform collaboration, Visual Studio Code, lightweight code editors, TypeScript, all those. And this is basically all the technical peoples, those who really working on the specific field, they will understand. Okay, that's why I mentioned whatever I mentioned at the very start, the snapshot, all those things, those are like for a layman point of view, they can feel the differences. All these components may be for the helpful for the developers who are really working on the ground. They will so see definitely some improvements are there. Okay.
So
So I just wanted
I
to
just
call,
wanted to
I
call
just wanted
that
to
one
call
out,
that one out,
Golak, is if you
Golok,
go
is if you
back
go
two
back two
slides to
slides to
GitHub,
GitHub. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the VS Code,
Yes, yes.
Um,
The text or image one?
the one with the VS Code, where as you're actually developing, typically we search a lot for the classes and methods, right? I mean, for
Yeah.
me, I do a little bit of stuff on Python as an example. And
Mm.
if I want certain things, I actually like search, Stack Overflow is our, default choice. We go learn whatever, test things out. Now, if you were to just go, and I'm sure some of you guys have actually tried it, if you go describe what you want, it'll actually bring you the classes and methods, like literally spits it out. Now, obviously, we kind of have an idea of what we're actually trying to do. So we optimize the code, but it gives you a very nice starting point. I don't know if any of you guys have tried it. And kindly feel free to unmute and,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Palash or Sudeepa, any one of you, if you guys have tried it, kindly let us know. I've tried it on my own and it's worked
Mm.
wonderfully well. Okay, back to you, Golak. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, so I'm just trying to highlight these are the high level announcements and all other things. Maybe we will go and see the videos and other stuffs, what really they announced, and then let's say we discussed about if whoever missed to attend, let me present the first. We will start with sir this one, Microsoft Fabric, because it is a completely new member in this stack of technologies. Let me present the video, then we will move on the discussion part. If anybody has anything to say or then definitely they can pitch in. Let me share my include computer audio, share screen.
Next generation AI in Microsoft. It's time to empower people to activate the potential.
Hope everyone can hear my computer's voice. Hello.
Yes, we can hear.
Yep, yep, yep.
Of data to bridge the gap between data and intelligence. Introducing Microsoft Fabric, an open and governed human-centered solution that integrates all your data and tools. With Microsoft Fabric, data engineers can visually integrate data from multiple sources. Data scientists can model and transform data. Data analysts can bring together more data sets and enable deeper insights. Data stewards can govern data and eliminate sprawl. Business users can work directly with data, uncovering and shaping the intelligence they need to make critical decisions that drive innovation. And by breaking down every barrier and equipping every data professional with access to every tool, your organization creates intelligence faster. Now your teams can all work seamlessly from a single data foundation in Microsoft Fabric with consistency across all your analytics workloads. AI-powered features like Copilot help your teams connect data sources, build machine learning models, and visualize results at the speed of thought. Intelligence securely flows to the applications where people work, helping them make better decisions for transformative impact. And persistent governance helps ensure compliance and security when users access and collaborate with data. Empower your teams. Unlock your data potential. Transform your organization. Microsoft Fabric.
Okay, so we understand what exactly Microsoft Fabric
Next
is
generation
providing.
AI in Microsoft Fabric
Now this is Copilot in Microsoft Fabric.
empowers you to unlock the full potential of your data. With Copilot integrated into every data experience, Microsoft Fabric lets you use natural language to bring your data to life. From integrating data to writing code to finding insights and creating reports, new transformative AI experiences work alongside you every step of the way so you can stay focused on getting value from your data. Copilot helps turn your words into data flows and data pipelines so you can intelligently integrate data from anywhere. When writing code, Copilot automatically suggests code and entire functions in real time. And Copilot can guide you to create machine learning models to unlock insights in your data. Just by chatting with Copilot, you can visually explore your data to create stunning reports, discover insights, and summarize your data into easy-to-understand text narratives for sharing. With Copilot, you can turn insight into action with triggers that monitor your data and notify users. You can even create your own custom natural language experiences that combine Azure OpenAI models and your organization's data and easily publish your creations as plugins. And with your data in Fabric, Copilot provides insights and answers everywhere work gets done. Most importantly, Microsoft Cloud runs on trust, which means your data always remains your data. Bring your data into the era of AI with Microsoft Fabric. Next generation AI in Microsoft.
Yeah, so actually we saw two videos on Microsoft Fabric. So let's discuss on this actually. Then I will uh, ask maybe Sanjeev sir, you can take off whatever the topic you want to take next. And actually in Microsoft Fabric, why I'm saying it is a game changer. If anyone knows how exactly Microsoft data platform or we do in the data journey, application journey, we'll all know we have dynamic crm and all other things, we build applications, then ui and those stuffs. When we go to data journey, right, we what we do, we take the data. If you think typically who do data journey implementation, they will push the data to Microsoft data lake, then they build they do the massaging of the data, bronze, silver, golden data, then accordingly they prepare the data bricks, then move towards, if you move towards data warehousing, after data warehousing, they move the data to Synapse. Actually, in some cases, Snowflake's businesses use actually earlier. Okay, Snowflakes has better features. So then after the analytics part, using Azure Synapse, it moves towards your data mart. And from data mart is you have your data, which is refined data. You can play with data to build the Power BI reports, and you can use Power BI Tableau as per the business they use. And this is where the typical data journey. Okay. So, but now with introduction Microsoft Fabric, what Microsoft has given, they given complete stack in the single gamut of thing. Okay. Not only this, along with that, they added the Copilot feature on that. It's like if you notice in the video, what they have done, they just type, write the statement, and altogether it generated the report and all other things. Even collaboration also, it's a seamless. And that's why they introduced another like one lake. You will have whole stack of data in a single place, so that it is easily, they can, whoever the business users, they can build their report, build their thing using the generative feature, and it is quite seamless. So this is where the usp of Microsoft Fabric, which is introduced. Okay. Then another feature is Copilot. Copilot is not only into Microsoft Fabric. If you notice the announcement point of view, it's a Windows also has Copilot, browser also has Copilot, and your Office 365 also has Copilot, and your complete Power App stack and dynamic stack of business, everywhere you can see the Copilot is there. Okay. So this is one of the game changer. If you can see the announcement, let's, if you listen the announcement from Satya, maybe I will pull that later, maybe Sanjeev sir or anyone else, just open up. It's not like I will keep on talking. let's
No,
let's
no,
make it
sure.
interactive. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure, Golak. So let me 2 seconds share my screen and give you
Yep.
one example, And this is something that all of us can try. I've done multiple, not that, sorry. So over here, right? This is basically an article that step by step allows us to check out fraud detection in financial services using components of Azure and Power BI. Okay, so basically what it is you have a bunch of calls coming in, and that could be, any of your call engines, that are sending you a whole host of calls. You need to take those calls and then you put them in what is called as an event hub, which I'm sure you folks have looked at before. Event hub, that is the ingestion of all these data points, right, or call data points. From event hub, you kind of then segregate those calls and send them to what is called as Azure Stream Analytics, right? In stream analytics, you could do a whole bunch of things. Okay, I'm not going to go through. I'm just trying to see if there's an architecture diagram here. It doesn't seem to give us an architecture diagram here, unfortunately. But imagine on the left-hand side, you have the call generation component. The first point of contact from a Microsoft standpoint is your event hub that absorbs all of those calls. From Event Hub, you send it to Azure Stream Analytics. And Azure Stream Analytics, you can actually do things like aggregations, which typically you actually do in databases, so on and so forth, and then do operations. So you can basically say, hey, give me the calls that are coming in for the last 3 minutes, and you aggregate, you do analysis on those set of data points, right? So as the real-time data actually comes in, you're aggregating, doing operations, and then outputting the result, right? So the result of it, you can actually take it into Power BI. So now if you look at this entire chain, the pipeline, you have the Event Hub, Azure Stream Analytics, and then you have your Power BI. If you want to store it in a database, you will have your SQL, Azure, so on and so forth. Now, as a person, as a data engineer, if I have to hook this up, I have to go to azure.com. I have to hook up a Event Hub. Then I have to go to azure.com again. I have to go to Azure Stream Analytics, hook that one up. Then I have to link the Event Hub to the Azure Stream Analytics, right? So there is a process for doing that. From there, from Stream Analytics, I have to select Power BI as the endpoint. There's a token exchange system. So there is a fair bit of work that I have to do to just set this up. And not every data engineer, we live and die with Microsoft technology, so we know, some components of this. In fact, actually, if you're working on business applications, very deep in business applications, I'm not terribly sure you will actually know what Azure Stream Analytics is, right? So now what they're trying to do is to bring all these together in one place so that for someone who wants to develop this solution, you don't need to be like an Indian god with like 1,000 arms to go 100 different places and do this dance just to get this pipeline going, right? So you can get it done relatively easily, from one place. That kind of is my understanding. I'm giving you real-time streaming as an example, but in general, that is my understanding of how Fabric works on a broad basis. Is that okay, Golak?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think we have an use case also when they presented for a specific customer. I saw it is a Ferguson customers. Maybe would anyone want to see that video? That's also it's a very short video. We can see how the
Sure,
customer
sure,
got
sure.
benefit
Go
from that.
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
By the way, Sudeepa, Tanu, and Palash, you guys are very silent. I'm sure. I mean, Palash, I keep seeing your posts on LinkedIn, man. I'm sure you have done some work along these lines. Kindly feel
Yeah,
free to
yeah.
unmute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Palash is
Yeah.
there
actually,
only. Yeah.
I'm doing some. I mean, I'm still doing it. So I don't want to comment right now because I'm still doing some analysis and work. We are having some customer demo very soon regarding
Ah,
this
okay.
co-pilot and other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just keeping silent because I still need to do some more things to help.
No, no, absolutely, Palash. I mean, the idea is to discuss the possibilities.
Yeah.
What we talked about was real-time streaming. So what I do is I go on IoT Hub as an example, IoT Central actually, and set up a whole bunch of devices there, set up a bunch of rules and so on and so forth, and pull the data into um, obviously Power Automate, from Power Automate into Power apps or Power BI, so on and so forth. That's another real-time streaming example. The other one, basically, the classical one is for your data scientists, right? Where you have a whole bunch of unstructured data sitting in a blob store or a data lake, a storage account within the within a data lake. From there, you pull it into Azure Databricks. You hook up some clusters over there, and then with your Python code, do some data analysis, then pull the result into Power BI, so on and so forth, right? All of these historically have been distinct entities. Like I literally have to go cook up my Azure data lake. I literally have to go cook up my Databricks and hook up a cluster. Then I have
Correct.
to go do the Power BI thing. Many times, I may not know what these things actually need, not from a actual scientific standpoint, from the, excuse my language, from shoveling all the dung from one place to the other, right? So I have to get my token system, I have to align my security principles, blah blah. It has got nothing to do with the actual data transformation, right? And the insights from the data. It is all the surrounding blah 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 that I need to do just to get this working, right? So now they're trying to take that pain away from us, where we make it easier so that we get the insights faster, and then we can help the business. That is my understanding. Sorry, Sudeepa, you were saying something and you went silent, man. Go ahead, sir.
No, no, Sanjeev. I am also trying to understand how we can implement it, because we have used Azure Synopsys in my last project, but
Ah.
how we can implement in different way now. Now I have to think. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing, there is this guy called Reza. Reza, I
Mm-hmm.
forget his last name, So he has
Reza
come up with
Durrani.
a, huh?
Reza Durrani, right?
Not Reza Durrani. Reza, that is the Power Apps guy. I'm talking
Oh,
about,
Reza Rad, we say
yeah,
normally,
he's
right?
the
That BI
power,
guy.
the
Yeah.
BI guy. So he has done a blog on how to get started with, this matrix, or sorry, fabric, how to go in and actually enable the fabric in Power BI. And then from there
Mm-hmm.
construct so what we could do, one idea is, so take this example of real-time streaming of fraudulent calls, right? So it is nothing more than a .NET code that runs on your PC, and it spits up a whole bunch of random phone numbers and locations. So the idea is you have one phone number. If the same phone number is being called from Singapore, from India, from let's say the United States, then you know that the call is fraud, right? So that's what it does. So what you could do is you could install it on your PC. There is the zip file, yeah, that it actually sends over. So you just download the zip file, you run the code. The thing is that you need to hook it up to Event Hub so that those numbers come to Event Hub, right? So that use case is already there for us to demo, completely build out. It hardly takes half an hour to hook everything up, and it works beautifully. Take that, use Reza's, the Fabric blog as to how to get started with Fabric, and put the two together.
Yeah, I
That's it.
posted
Yeah.
Sanjeev the video
Ah,
from
okay.
Reza. Yeah.
Okay, Superman, super, very, very kind, Golak.
Thank
So we
you.
can,
Thank you
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. So
much.
we can try it out. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Super. Back to you,
I
Golak. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we will see one customer use case also, which Microsoft presented in built that resource. Then we will move towards maybe Satya's announcement. We will just fast forward. We will move the points only, not like the complete keynote, because it's a 30 minutes duration, more than 30 minutes. So I think let's move on. If anybody has any points, definitely in between they can pitch in. So should be fine. That's fine, right, Sanjeev?
Oh, absolutely, Golak.
Yeah. So let me present this video. This is Microsoft Fabric. You can see one customers. So it's audible, right? Let me
No,
see.
it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not audible, is it? Okay. I think every time share, every time need to yeah, okay. Yeah.
Ferguson is part of Ferguson PLC. We have roughly 36,000 associates across 1,700 locations. My name's Corey Moore. I'm a senior solutions architect here at Ferguson.
I'm George Rasco. I'm a principal DBA and a data engineer.
With Microsoft Fabric, simplifying the experience of ingesting, transforming, and presenting data, it provides opportunities to make decisions faster with better support from a data perspective.
Microsoft Fabric is a paradigm shift in analytics.
I love the fact that Microsoft Fabric integrates with the rest of the Microsoft stack. It's hugely important to have a SaaS platform like Microsoft Fabric that just works with that stuff. With OneLake within Microsoft Fabric, that data only has to hit once, and it's there for everyone.
Everybody knows where everything is. I'm excited just to have those capabilities in my hands.
And again, that governance comes into play with security. It's more efficient, it's more intuitive, and it reduces costs.
I think AI integration can help by being able to make decisions about the data quicker than humans can.
Microsoft Fabric brings all that into one place. Microsoft Fabric is a game changer. It's definitely a win.
Yeah, so we saw that one, right? That is one of the customers use case. And if you can listen what Sanjeev mentioned just recently, it's exactly same thing they're saying. They put one lake, like one lake is one time you pick the data and then data is available across, and it's completely unified. So
Right.
this is one of the beauty of
Right. So,
Microsoft.
so, so Golak, we have to pause, man. And guys, please feel free to jump in because this is a massive pain in the whatever neck, when it comes to getting data, right? So let's think about this, right? So, when it comes to we have structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data, right? Semi-structured data are all your JSON types and all that, key value pairs, all this. And unstructured data is everything, right? I mean, it's the whole world. Typically, what do we do? Unless you subscribe to Cosmos DB that can actually hold all three kinds of data, it is like schema-less. The schema gets created on the fly and so on and so forth. That's the promise of Cosmos DB, right? For most normal people, they will have their structured data sitting in like SQL server or like a data warehouse. Then they will basically this unstructured data and semi-structured data is kind of new for them, so they'll struggle. They'll put it somewhere. Most likely they would have actually heard of blob stores, so they will dump it in a blob, so on and so forth. So when you're trying to bring the two things together, it is not simple, right? Basically, because you have to authenticate to both places, you have security considerations on both places, you have to have roles, by the way, in two different places because the same role has to get replicated in both places. Then you pull the data into a central place. Usually, that is like an Azure data factory where you're building the pipelines to bring the data. Once you bring the data, then you pull it into Databricks or something like that to do your ETL and whatever transformations you want to do. If you are actually a data scientist, if you want to send that pipeline over to the data scientist, because the data scientist is not going to accept like unclean data, right? They will say, hey, data engineer, clean all this up, put it in my Azure Databricks, and then give the output to me for me to do my analytics. Then if you're building a traditional, how do you say, warehouse, even though you have a warehouse with all your normalized data, whatever, and then you have your unstructured data, you have to pull it and create a separate lake now. You follow me, right? The number of instances of the same data, it'll cost you heavily. You're paying through the nose at that point. That is the meaning, if you will, of this one lake, is where you're actually centralizing everything in one place so that you touch only that. From there you start. It still beckons the point that your sources will be many, right? You still have to go to that source and pull the data into that one lake. But then that is the life that we lead nowadays, right? Anyone else, kindly feel free to jump in, please. I'm sure you have actually, Sudeepa, you were talking about your project, right, with Synapse. I'm sure you have seen this before, Anyone who works in the
Yep.
data area, this is like a go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead, Golak.
Yeah. Hi. Actually, yeah. This is what one thing we understand. It's like Microsoft came up with really great feature. We can say it's a really game changer, basically. And another thing I understand, it's a co-pilot. Let's move towards the co-pilot segment. In co-pilot segment, earlier we know it is already announced for some of the products, but in this build event, Microsoft announced this for Windows also, for Office 365 also, and announced for Power Pages and Power BI. So I have couple of videos which for Power BI and Power Pages. Let's start with Power Pages. It's something different. Then we'll move to Power BI because it's a similar kind of data journey. I want to move away from data journey now.
Hey, and
Okay.
Golak, I
Yeah.
think it may be good to see what it does on Power Apps too, right? Some of you
Yeah. Yeah.
guys may have seen that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
given how we are built,
Yeah.
between us, it is scary,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So we'll discuss that. Go ahead, Golak.
Yeah, that one we definitely we have. Even I can share bunch of Copilot videos. What Sanjeev mentioned, really Power Apps and others. Even though it was
Let's
earlier there, I will
actually,
push.
if you have the Power Apps handy, I
Yeah,
don't want to if you have it handy in front of you, kindly share that because
yeah.
we know how
I
we
have.
build apps, right? We
Yes,
know how we
yes, yes.
build apps, and then you can when you
Correct.
see this, it is
Yeah,
actually scary if people start building apps this way. Anyway, go ahead, go
correct,
ahead.
correct. Yeah. Let's start with Power Virtual Agent. Power Apps I have, but I need to figure out the videos. Okay, let
No issues.
me
No issues.
pull up first because I have this list of links. Out of them, one is Power Apps. Okay, so let me just want to see if voice is there or not. Okay, fine. Let me share. Let's start with Power Virtual Agent. Power Pages Copilot.
Next generation AI in Power Pages is revolutionizing how you build and launch data centric websites for your business. Instead of spending hours crafting and coding websites, you can use natural language and intelligent suggestions to speed up your website building process. Now, with Copilot and Power Pages, you can generate text, build forms, activate chatbots, and enable site design in seconds, all through the power of AI using natural language commands. Start building today with the go-to low-code tool that will help your organization increase productivity and rapidly build websites your customers will love at scale. All securely managed on Microsoft Power Platform. Just think it, describe it, and Power Pages will help you build it. Next generation AI.
So this is actually, to be very honest, what Sanjeev mentioned is absolutely right. So this is, if you guys understood, it is the next version of Power Pages, we can say, in the Power Apps, we can say, because Microsoft announced Power Apps earlier, and now they announced for Power Pages. It is leveraging similar features for Power Pages also, like Power Apps. You just type, build the app. Maybe I'm trying to pull the video of Power Apps, so that you will know how exactly it is doing in Power Apps. Then Power Pages will be linked to that. If you understand from this video what they have done exactly, you just type and it is just creating different forms, different all other things without doing any drag and drop all other things. Okay, that is the one of the beauty in Power Pages Copilot. And now let's see the Power BI Copilot, and by the time I will pull up the video for Power Apps. Okay, let me share this one.
Let's take a look at how Copilot and Power BI is empowering everyone to quickly find and share insights. For example, say I'm a sales analyst for a hotel and resorts company. Now, with Copilot and Power BI, I can simply describe the report I want to build and get insights in seconds. Maybe we need a new report to help us understand the profile of our customers, to gain insights into what is driving return visits to our properties. I just describe what I need, and Copilot will automatically analyze my data and create a new report based on my needs. Immediately, Copilot created a new Power BI report that is fully interactive, and I can start slicing and dicing my data to explore deeper. Copilot added the charts and slicers I requested, but also conveniently gives me options to adjust the output to get just what I'm looking for. For example, let's switch to ask for metrics and trends and a slightly different layout. Automatically, Copilot updates the report. Let's go ahead and keep this report page, but it goes much further. I can also ask analysis questions such as, what are the main drivers for repeat customer visits? Copilot responds by adding a new page to my report and uses Power BI's built-in advanced analysis capabilities for finding key influencers for variables in my data. Right away, I can see that customers who purchase spa visits are the most likely to be repeat visitors, followed by those who rented sports equipment. I can easily explore Power BI's key influencer visual further to learn more. I can even automatically see the most significant segments in my data just by clicking. Now let's go back to the first page and finish up our new report. I'm going to ask Copilot to make it look like our existing sales dashboard. Copilot automatically finds and references the dashboard to adjust my report with formatting and layout to match. Best of all, I can still interact directly with the Power BI report Copilot has created. So for example, if I wanted to manually change this line chart to add the reason customers were visiting, it's easy to do with just a few clicks. Let's also change the line chart to a ribbon chart to make the data really stand out. Finally, to make the report even easier for my team to understand, I'm going to ask Copilot to add a rich text description of my data right inside the report. This narrative summary is fully dynamic, and not only does Copilot highlight interesting insights from my data, but it provides citations from where in the report the data was taken. This summary will update every time the data is refreshed, or people filter the report with new insights based on the data. And just like that, in seconds, I've created a report that would have taken hours or days to do manually. Copilot, built on top of Azure OpenAI, is truly revolutionary for how we empower everyone to find and share insights.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Golak, don't
yeah,
close that. Can you open that again and
Power
really
BI.
quickly? And towards the last, let us go towards the last, because as
Let's take a look at
the,
how Copilot and
Yeah.
yeah, keep moving, keep moving. Somewhere there, where maybe, yeah, go back a little tiny bit.
Yeah, it's analyzing and automatically building.
Analyzing data, is it? Maybe you should go back a little bit more.
This
Ah,
page.
here. Wait.
Yeah.
Just stay there, stay there, stay there, right? Oh,
Yeah.
there, right there. Guys, uh, one, right there. So you see what's going on here, right? It is basically your data model that is in Power BI. It is the one that you and I have actually created that it's finding insights on, right? It still means to me, as someone who's done a little bit of Power BI before, to me, it means that if my data model is bad, what the copilot's going to give you is going to be worse. And the danger here is on this poor data model that I have built, if I were to unleash this in front of the business users, the insight that they can actually get will be horrible, and they can make decisions that are really poor based on this. So it still means that the people like us who are on the development side are very, very, very important. It is not like, hey, I take this and I just give it to some end user, and then all of a sudden they're going to have this amazing insight in a matter of seconds. Of course, they will have insights in a matter of seconds. It is a question of, is it going to be insights based on sound data principles, or is it insight based on some rubbish? I just wanted to call this out because it's a super important thing. In one of the LinkedIn posts yesterday, one of the business applications guys was talking about pretty much the same thing. Just wanted to call this out because I know you guys are like exactly like me, when it comes to data modeling and all that. Back to you, Golak.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is what really Sanjeev mentioned, and we saw the video. Basically, it's a technical video. If you notice, actually, you would have understand what exactly it is doing and how seamlessly it is making for us. So I think it's kind of self-explanatory. So basically, if you guys want, you can definitely go try out, enable this Copilot and other things. And one of the thing to enabling the Copilot and all other concepts, right? One thing came to my mind. It is responsibleness. Okay, so Microsoft also announced as part of responsible AI. Microsoft has a responsible AI has using the responsibleness to implementing the AI, and same applies to ChatGPT, and means we can say it's a regenerative AI implementing same. On that note, Microsoft announced a new product called Azure AI Content Safety. You guys can go and look for that. Azure AI Content Safety is nothing but it's an additional step for responsibleness. Basically, what it is doing, if you are posting any image which is not, it should not be published to public or something should not be done, it will restrict that. Let's say if you're typing some text that it should not be published in a public place, then it will restrict that. So this is high level what it is doing. Maybe you can Google Azure AI Content Safety. Maybe I can type also Azure AI Content Safety. Yeah, you see, this is the new member Microsoft announced in build also. Okay, so this is, you guys can play around what exactly it is doing and what this feature and all other things. Yeah. Okay, so this is towards the responsibleness. Now we understand how it is used in Power Pages, that is the announcement, Azure AI, responsibleness, content safety, and then towards the Power BI, Copilot also came, Windows Copilot came, and then Office 365 Copilot also came. Along with that, Bing integration, there also Copilot is there, and there are a lot of plugins in AI also introduced. And on that note, this is really huge, and it's moving towards the generative kind of trend. Basically, previously we were in a limited trend, but because we are leveraging the machine learning, AI, traditional machine learning, but now it is towards a regenerative stage. This is what I feel. Maybe if anybody can open up any thoughts, any suggestions, if any feelings, whatever you think, maybe you can suggest before moving towards further.
No, okay. Let me put up my just
Yeah.
2 cents
Yeah.
of opinion. So,
Yep.
okay, one of the very big stress factor is what Saji was saying, that
Hmm.
the data with the new Swan Lake and Azure Fabric, this is going to be much more easier. Okay, yeah. So we are also planning to try our hands on that. So it is there are a lot of different steps. Those have been now clubbed together with the help of AI.
Correct.
Definitely something is playing inside the AI. They are built on top of this. That is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first point. The second point is they're pushing the AI into everything they have. These our pages, our apps. This is sometimes it becomes very crazy. Like even a non-technical person just go and upload a Excel file, and with that a Power App is getting created. Uh, but definitely, on the other hand, it is just for developer. It will make our life easier, okay, because it is
Hmm.
going to help us. But it will not if some, because it is a text-based approach.
Hmm.
Definitely, the model is bad. The data which is come out is also going to be very very bad. Okay, so our help is also required to validate. So yeah, I think let's
Yeah.
see how things goes on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I agree on this because everything is moving towards AI. Basically, the summary is everything is moving towards AI, and some automation is coming in the. I will say it's not some major automation is coming up. Those who will play off with the this AI stack of thing, automation stack of thing, and I think it's not like people sometimes think it's a job cut and all other things happening. I don't think so because somebody should be there to monitor it. Okay, that is where it is coming, the responsibility and all other things. Definitely there will be some reduction, but not like so drastically, because again, some person should be there to monitor and do the enforcements. Okay.
Guys,
So
in fact,
yeah.
actually, it's an
Yeah,
opportunity, guys,
yeah,
for
correct.
us, right? If you're shrewd as a technical person, right? If you're shrewd, it's an enormous opportunity for us, actually. You know why? Because people will screw up. If you release it to end users who have no idea of like master tables, transaction tables, primary keys, foreign keys, if they have no idea of data, they will screw up on a massive scale. And then people like us will be needed to go in and actually make some sense out of this. Like, Palash, like you were actually saying, for us, it's an amazing thing because we understand the constructs, right? It is just helping us along the way, making things easier. Maybe, for me, as I was like, I was playing around with IoT. There were some libraries in Python that I didn't even know existed. Okay. So when I went to this OpenAI and I like, put down XYZ, it gave me a library that I didn't know existed, but I knew how to construct my, what do you call classes and methods from there. You follow me, right? Once you have that expertise, AI is fantastic to help you. But if you don't have the fundamentals, and if AI is released, my scare is it'll muck things up badly, and then we will be needed to go. Our demand will only increase, is my thing. So if people think that AI is going to take the jobs away, especially on the technical side, I think they're smoking something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, see, I have seen a lot of your blogs, and it's mind blowing. Especially regarding the IoTs and other things. It is, and whatever you're saying, it is really, 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 really makes sense actually. So it is going to, at the end of the day, I think it will make our life a bit easier, but we also have to know how we have to play with this and
Right,
make the customer happier,
right.
you know?
Right, exactly. And that's why for from a development standpoint, it is the demand will increase is my point, is my thinking, for people like us. So I think we should be very happy that this coming out as opposed to being scared. Back to you, Golak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we discussed actually, if you guys understand, initially we put first the summary of the discussion, then we moving towards bits and pieces. What are the things? What are the announcement? We are doing analysis. Now I think we have hardly 5-10 minutes because we started 5 minutes late. So 10 minutes we have. I feel what I'm thinking. Let's go listen from Satya one segments part, and then we will close the discussion. If anybody has any comments, definitely we'll pause in between. So what you say, uh, Sanjeev and others?
Makes
I
sense,
think
makes sense.
fine. Yeah. So okay. So I'm just moving ahead because it's a advertising. I don't want that to play.
Everything is linked like it used to be.
All right.
Good morning. Good morning. It's fantastic to see you all. Welcome to Build. All of those you made it here. It's fantastic to be back together physically and everyone joining online. These developer conferences are special times, special places to be, especially when platform shifts are in the air. I distinctly remember my first PDC in 1991, driving up 101 into Moscone Center, and my life changed after that developer conference. So it's exciting to be able to come back to Build 2023 with that same sense of anticipation of something big that is shifting around us as developers. To just sort of put this in perspective, in fact, last summer I was reading Mitchell Waldrop's Dream Machine while I was playing with DV3, as GPT-4 was called then, DaVinci 3. And it just brought to it brought in perspective what this is all about. I think that concept of Dream Machine perhaps best communicates what we have really been doing over the last 70 years, right? All the way starting with what Vannevar Bush wrote in his most seminal paper, As We May Think, where he had all these concepts like associative memory, or what Licklider was the first one who even conceptualized the human-computer symbiosis, the mother of all demos that came in '68, to the Xerox Alto, and then, of course, the PDC that I attended, which was the PC Server 1 in '91. 93 is when we had the Mosaic moment. Then there was iPhone and the cloud. And all of these would be one continuous journey. And then, in fact, the other thing I've always loved is Jobs' description of computers as bicycles for the mind. It's sort of a beautiful metaphor. I think it captures the essence of what computing is. But then last November, we got an upgrade, right? We went from the bicycle to the steam engine with the launch of ChatGPT. It was like the Mosaic moment for this generation of the AI platform. And now we look forward to, as developers, what we can do going forward. And so it's exciting time. And in fact, every layer of the software stack is going to be changed forever. And no better place to start than the actual developer stack, right? We as developers, how do we build is fundamentally changing. In fact, when I think about how we build, I think about first code spaces, right? Being able to set up that environment in seconds versus minutes. A dev box, instead of waiting for a day for your managed dev box to be set up, you have it in less than an hour. If you think about Copilot, what it does to you and Copilot X in terms of driving the overall flow and productivity, which is what, 54% or so up. And then, of course, GitHub Actions and Azure development dev environments, really making that possible for you to stay. In fact, one of the things that I keep on bugging Scott Guthrie for years is, hey, I want to stay in VS Code. I want to stay in command line and let me do everything there. We are close to that dream. And that, to me, is bringing back both the joy of programming and the flow of programming. That ability to be able to stay on task is just so wonderful to see. So how we build software is radically different, but what we are going to build as developers is really the story of this developer conference. And what we build, we've been, it's not like I came in on January 1st and said, let's start doing press releases, but it does feel like that. It does feel like every week there is something new, and we're infusing this new AI stack across all layers of it, right? So we started with tooling in GitHub, or rather Copilot in GitHub. We did Copilot in Power Platform. When it comes to productivity, Copilot in Microsoft 365, Copilot in Viva, with business process, it's the Copilot in Dynamics 365. When it comes to industry sort of workflows, what Nuance has done with DAX, or the security Copilot, or the Copilot, of course, for the web in Bing and Edge, features in LinkedIn, which are driven by AI, and of course the AI infrastructure with Azure OpenAI APIs and everything else around it, right? So every layer of the stack is profoundly changing. And we today are going to, as part of this developer conference, we're going to have 50+ more announcements. But I want to highlight 5 of them. The first is we're bringing search grounding in Bing to ChatGPT. We are very excited about this. Yeah, you can clap. Look, ChatGPT is the most sort of fast-growing consumer app we've ever seen. And search grounding is a very key feature, right? So that all the information is current and grounded by what you have from the crawl and the index. And so it's fantastic to see that. We are excited to be able to, it's going to launch in ChatGPT Plus immediately and quickly coming even to the free tier. And this is just the start of
So basically, this is Bing to ChatGPT, I think, which we discussed in the browser. I
what
think let's, with the interest of time, I think let's move on to understand what is next announcements on this.
we plan to do with our partners in OpenAI to bring every user a power user of Windows. Let's roll the video.
So this is Windows Copilot, the second announcement. Actually, I really like that summary part. If you notice, you put the document and ask the summary, it given the summary of the notes.
No, it's so cool.
So any thoughts, any comments on this Windows Copilots? Anyone has any comments? Sanjeev,
No, it is
Jiva.
not.
Yeah.
Go
No
ahead, Sandeep.
comments.
Go ahead.
Just yeah.
Yes.
So I thought I was also attending a couple of latest features in that on seminars recently. But
Okay.
one thing I want to mention is Copilot built-in architecture is like there. I want to add a couple of things to your presentation so that being a developer, we want to understand some underlying components. But
Yep.
how Copilot is working is from my means I didn't see, but from the seminars I'm bringing up. So actually, Microsoft have a bunch of applications like M365 application, Dynamics 365 application, Power Apps, all those things. And Copilot is like a middleware kind of thing, which is in between that one. And actual job, it will take data from all the applications and it will push to Microsoft Graph API, which is what
Correct.
the heart of the integration.
Correct.
So this then it will fine tune that graph API as all like it is like core development part of I think that's what for a developer point of view, which will as if you see previously we are using graph API for all integrations or wherever we want to do customization, which is not possible for citizen developers. So it will push that data and it will give to LLM model. Again, it from LLM model, it will come to Copilot, Copilot to Graph API. It will before sending to end user, it will fine tune and it will give the present end user. That is one thing I want to highlight. And one more thing is now Microsoft introducing Copilot everywhere across all applications, or even they're trying to give means like custom plugins also. They are trying to expose how to but not only Microsoft plugins, even they're trying to leverage that developers to develop custom plugins using that for the Copilot or whatever, all those things.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you are
Yeah,
absolutely right. There is a video
yeah,
also Microsoft released actually. If you can see what you mentioned
yeah,
exactly, they mentioned everything, the same thing actually. It is you are right, absolutely
yeah.
right. Large level model they built across the graph. They are pulling the information and they are creating their own version using the regenerative feature. Yeah. Yes,
So
you're
Tanu,
right.
have you subscribed to the plugin, man? I
No, no, no.
remember now that you told me about a week and a half ago, there was a link in I think it was Jeff Tepper or somebody who had published on LinkedIn, and in that there was a link where you could subscribe to the plugins, you know. And let me ask a question, is the plugins kind of, is it going to work similar to APIs? How do we call the plugins? Let us say, you know, I'm programming in Python. That's what I normally do. How do I call the plugin? Do you know?
No idea. Just I'm also exploring that one. Just a
Exploring, huh?
couple of weeks
Okay,
only. Yeah, a couple of weeks only
got it.
we came
So
to
I
know this
was
one.
able to get Azure
Really
Open
exciting and
API.
game changer for developers. Yeah.
See, I was able to get Azure Open API. Okay, so
Mm.
subscribe to it. So basically, that's almost like how you normally do with any API, you know. So you just have a token exchange, you know, you could even have security principles, roles, whatever. And then you connect. And then I connected it with my custom connector and Power Apps, and I'm able to do that, you know. It'll be very interesting to see what this thing on the Copilot does, because then that becomes a complete game changer, right? We can bring information, like you said, from many different locations inside of Microsoft.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm, yeah.
not only for developers' sake, I think even Microsoft introduced Copilot widget and for end user means like this kind of control, so that even
No,
if
no. I
you
mean,
publish
the
to
Copilot for end user is clear, man. So as an example, I was doing a project for Microsoft, okay? So
Mhm.
literally, like the last day or the one day before, I was in Bangalore. I was supposed to attend a customer meeting. Unfortunately, I was at the airport and I could not, okay? So these customer and like internal Microsoft people were on Teams, and then they completed the whole thing. And then for just about 5 minutes, I was able to get internet access. I went on Teams, and it's AI. There is an AI
summarize.
option. It summarized the whole thing so beautifully, right?
Yeah.
Now, as a
Yes.
developer, as a developer, what I want is I want to extract it out. I don't want it to just sit in Teams. You follow me, right? Because
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
may be some that may be some content that I want to build a knowledge base on. So I want to take it and store it, let us say, in like SharePoint or wherever, so that other people can consume the that insight, if you will, right? So then the plugins come in very handy.
Correct. It will summarize. It will give the however you want, like ChatGPT. And one more thing is, it will translate the voice also.
Ah, right.
See
Right.
whatever.
And languages,
Yeah.
right? Basically, I mean, you and I
Yes.
could be speaking in like
Correct.
our languages, and then it'll actually give it in English, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
actually,
that is what it's in Copilot. No? It is a very handy. Even if you miss
Right.
the meeting, just you summarize it and you can get it on. Since it is
Eh,
automatically taking that speech also, speech analyzing, and it will summarize it however you want. You
right. Correct. 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 Correct.
mm, mm. But
Super.
actually, I have one clarification here. I think from Copilot core product point of view, they have not released the speech part, right? Maybe if I missed something, because I understand text
No.
is there, but
Yeah.
speech part, I think we need to use the cognitive
No, no.
AI.
What Tanu
Yeah.
is saying is basically the meeting, like our meeting
Mm,
right now on Teams is
Yeah.
yeah,
we
that
could be
part it is
saying, yeah, like
correct.
ये बहुत ही अच्छा है, like like
Yes, yes,
Copilot
yes,
ये
yes.
करेगा वो करेगा, right? Basically, all
Mm.
that will be at the end of the day summarized in English.
Yeah, yeah, that part I
So
agree. That part I
if
agree.
we record this meeting and end this meeting,
Yeah.
there will be a transcript. There will also be a
Yes, correct.
section for AI insights. So if you click on AI insights, the whole 1 hour thing will be summarized into 4 or 5 bullet points, and it could
Yeah.
be
Correct.
talk in many different languages. It doesn't matter. It's going to summarize even that. The
Yeah, yeah,
reason
yeah.
why I say this also, and Tanu, is an excellent point, because the meeting was basically an Indian customer with the Indian Microsoft team. Okay.
Mhm.
So the guys were talking in Hindi also. They would break
Mm,
into Hindi,
Mm.
mera data yahan hai, wahan hai, this and all that they were talking. So all that got summarized basically. So it's an excellent point
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that part is there.
See,
Yeah, I agree.
whatever we discuss, no, so suppose in this meeting itself, you can just like come up what are the questions we asked. Everything it will give. At the same time,
Correct.
what are the best questions? What is the sentiment of that one? all these things, Teams in Copilot, especially, not in other applications. Teams in Copilot, you can leverage like in handy. Post presentation, we can present within 5-10 minutes. We can do whatever the customer asked information, which is the best question or what are the questions asked by the audience. It will give completely if you just type that one.
And with a plugin, you can take it out. Actually, if you don't mind, I'm gonna share one thing, Golak. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so let me share my screen with you. So can you guys see my screen now? Kindly let me know if you can. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, this is a This is a Power App that's actually connecting to ChatGPT, right? This is GPT 3.5. So if I say, what are the top 3 frontline worker profiles in logistics industry, right? And search for it. So this is going to go connect to your ChatGPT, OpenAI, basically GPT 3.5. I need to actually, and it's giving you warehouse associates delivered. So this is, imagine, Tanu, to your point, right? Imagine that this is what the summary of the meeting is, okay, on Teams. समझे ना आप? Assume that this is the summary of the meeting, okay? Then what I can do is I can actually, this is a text, essentially like a forms here basically in Power Apps. So I could basically say logistics as an industry and save this. I'm not going to save it because I've done this before. So now I've saved it and it's actually, I've recorded this by particular industry. You see? So now I can make my own internal database out of the summary meeting points that came out of that customer meeting. आप समझ रहे हैं ना, basically.
Yeah.
Right? And for that, even now I can do it. I can just use Graph API and I can pull the content out and save it. But then if there is a plugin available, right, then that plugin itself will allow me to put this and save it and make my own repository,
Yep.
Yeah. So it's massively exciting. I've subscribed, I asked for access to the API. I haven't got it yet, but I'll for sure send you guys the link as to where you can ask for access,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's really. I think with the interest of time, I think I shared the build book of news. We already discussed actually what are the major announcement and all other things. If
Yeah,
you want to learn more, yep.
Are you able
Maybe.
to find Power Apps or no? Because
Yeah,
I think
I sent already. I sent in the chat already.
नहीं,
I
open
think.
रहे. 1 second open. We'll talk about it and we'll close the call.
Sure.
Because
It
all of
is.
us will be interested in that.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, let me share. Because actually I send in the chat because with the interest of time, but okay. If everyone agree, let me share. This is the Power Apps Copilot.
Copilot has been helping developers in GitHub.
Okay,
cut the what do you Baba Black Sheep? Let's get to the actual
Yeah.
Why not Power Apps?
Yeah, keep going. It's still talking. Over there. Just
from
before,
Copilot directly into those data types that we have from Dataverse. So as you'll see, they go through, we make that first mapping. You can actually now ask it for some changes if you'd like as well.
No,
so
go back.
Let's have
a
it
table
just add,
दिखा दिया उसने basically over there.
And it then also generated some sample data on top of that.
There, right there. Now play.
In those descriptions, you can be as detailed or as brief.
So basically, he's just typing like
need requirement.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's typing a requirement.
Because you want. One of the real interesting things that we've seen is people can come in. Some people are really brief. They say equipment tracking. Some people say, "Hey, I would really like," and they're very polite to the bot.
Do I have to be polite to the AI, or is it okay?
You should be polite to the Copilot, but no, you don't have to. You can be as brief as you would like.
Golok, freeze it for a second.
Yeah.
So guys, you saw one thing, right? The guy typed and it went ahead and actually generated a table here, right? It basically, no, we are data people, right? When it generates tables like these, some portion of me actually like gets very scared, right? Because there is no master table over here. Like there's just collecting the transactions. So what happens? There are no lookups to your if you're in finance, you control the legal entities in a master table. Now, this is putting all those legal entities directly in the transaction table, right? You see how crazy it can get with these end users start developing something like this. This will become a colossal mess. But that is our opportunity as developers to go in and clean this up and then like guide them properly and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? I don't know how you guys
Yeah.
feel, but to me, this is a Go ahead, Sudeepa. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Being a technology, there are plus and minus always be there. Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
how to use the
No,
individuals.
Golak was saying that AI jobs, our jobs will go away. It will never go away,
Actually,
yaar.
actually, I'm
Never.
saying people are talking. If you go right,
Yeah.
there are a lot of talks regarding that. Actually, I will steal the job and so on. So even news also you will see this thing happening. But basically,
Right.
if you understand what is the Satya's announcement, it's a build event. It's a developers event, and
Correct.
it's no job is going away. Rather, it
Yeah.
is bringing more jobs, more opportunity, and more collaboration.
Exactly.
No, it is not a
That's the
replace.
whole
It is
point.
not a 100% solution. It is just
Yeah.
to augment the our work, productivity and work.
Exactly. Super, guys.
Okay. Okay. I think Palash dropped off because yeah, we understand we are already exceeded. So basically, yeah, this link I already shared. If you can see what they are doing, I just muted their voice, just to show what at last they are doing. They created like just they typed and at the end an app will be generated. Okay, so this is the beauty of that actually. Without writing a single code, you see, this is the app they built actually at last. Yeah. So
Right.
without any drag and drop boxes and all other things, app is ready. Even
So
there
what
is
about security, Golak? Like, so if I'm going to use the app and if I have access only to something, will the app automatically take care of that, or do you have to build it?
yeah, security that's why actually Microsoft has
So-
no, I believe
Sorry, Ray. Like-
yeah, that's a really
No,
important
no,
Okay.
point. Yeah, that's
Sanjeev,
really important point.
Yeah,
security
go
wise,
ahead, Tanu.
what is their call is no? It will like however our dynamics will work on. No? Suppose your data it will present in your system only. In the same way,
Yeah.
it whatever access you have for that user. See, all is in
Nahi, Ray,
Azure,
ek
right?
second,
Azure.
Tanu, ek second, Ray, ek second. So you and I, like, let us say I'm a developer, okay? You've come to me and said, hey, I want an app to do X, Y, and Z, right? So what are the things that I will ask you? I'll say, hey, look, or give me all the scenarios. What is the flow, process flow? Who's going to actually approve this? Is there like multiple layers of approvals? Then your user base, can everybody see everything, or are there, what is the CRUD level access to, the data points? All that I will ask you before I build, right? Because that is the security model, that's the data model I need to have. And then I share it with you will share it with, make you the owner, and then you will share it with different people. You follow, right? Yahan, where is all that
Right.
conversation?
No. That is what. Copilot is building on prompt engineering, right? From the prompt, that is the input. But whenever you are fetching the data, it will apply the basic
Nahi,
system
yaar,
security only.
you're designing it for the first time, yaar. You have designed it using the Copilot. Theek? Let us say you've designed
Correct.
this exact app. Now you have to share it with me. Okay. So when you have to share it with me, usually what we do is we go to business unit table, we go to user table, we go to environments, we manage that within Dataverse, correct? If you're using Dataverse.
Correct.
If you're using
Correct.
SharePoint, you'll create a master table. In the master table, you'll list out all the users and approvers and verifiers. You'll give them the relevant yes, no access. You will also manage behind the scenes in SharePoint what is the custom roles, right? You go to SharePoint Admin
Right.
Center, you will actually manage. वो सब करना पड़ेगा. Even now, you have to go do that before you
Yes.
release the app, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
it
yes.
is not
Yeah.
just one
Exactly.
table. Yeah, it is not just one table. Behind the scenes, you will have to go build other tables also, master tables for users and all. So it is not as simple as acha, I just woke up today, I have an idea, and boom, I have an app. No, there is
No,
still some
it
base.
cannot.
I think for me, this is not telling the full story. This is like a little bit of marketing. It is not telling the full story of responsibleness of the whole thing. Is my
Yeah.
opinion. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sanjeev, in that responsibleness, right? Because why I'm coming up in this, because I just presented one session on this responsibleness, only responsible AI part. Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, what Microsoft has as part of responsibleness, right? Basically, it's ethical dimension. They have different segments. If I tell out the call out the things they implemented. First, they put like Azure OpenAI. If let's say anyone want to use the OpenAI feature, even the Azure service also, they have to submit the approval. It's not like you want to use, you can just go and use. No, you have to submit the approval. Proper due process need to be happen. This is the first step they put. Then accessing AI, they put different layers actually. Let's say data analysis, model overview, a fairness assessment, error analysis, model interpretability, and counterfactual something, causal analysis. For each segment, right, there are different machine learning packages. There are actually. If you want, I can share my deck actually. They
Oh,
have error
lovely.
analysis package, interpret
Yeah, super,
ML
super,
package,
super.
yeah,
Hey,
dice
but like
package,
you're
all those
talking
are there.
AI, responsible AI, na? That is
Exactly.
a little bit of a different story. I'm talking about responsibility of the app development process, right?
Okay,
Where, yeah,
understand,
you know
understand.
what I mean, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. So what I feel, I agree up to some extent what you mentioned, because it's app point of view, it's app security, whatever they developed as part of the product, as far as Copilot is concerned. But from our point of view, app security we have to build. That's I agree
See,
because
my
yeah,
thinking
Exactly.
is what would have been good is
correct.
that they also mention the other side of the house to the end user, saying that guys, yeah, you can go develop an app very quickly, but then if you have to share it with people and build a flow with people where there are approvals, so on and so forth, take the
Yeah.
advice of your IT people.
Correct. Even in Azure also, customer logbox is one of the feature.
Yeah.
Actually, in that, if some data I don't want to expose, it's my confidential data. So then it's all about we take approval from the end user. You want to give access or not give? We'll leave it to them. If they want to give them. If they don't want to give, you can restrict it. Basically, yes, we have to build that on top of the
Correct,
whatever
correct,
Microsoft is giving. Yeah, agree.
correct. Sorry, Ray,
Okay.
it was a passionate conversation, so
Yeah. It's really helpful. And actually, in that note, also, what you really mentioned, that's why Microsoft introduced another feature, Azure AI Content Safety. It is
ah,
in Satya's announcement, you will listen that also. So, anyways, whatever they can do, they are doing from their end. But basically, the summary, what Sanjeev highlighted this point, I understood. Sanjeev is trying to say something is there for developers also. It's not like Microsoft is giving you and you simply start using.
yeah.
You correct
I
me
mean,
if I'm wrong.
there is a lot
Exactly.
for us
Not
here.
actually.
There is a lot for
Yeah,
us.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
very, to me, this is extraordinarily exciting,
Correct,
because
correct.
see, for me, couple angles. One is performance,
Yeah,
right? Just because you have developed a data model doesn't actually mean that your BI is going to perform excellently.
correct,
Okay,
correct.
because many times how you design the tables and how you build the data model itself will determine how fast your reports actually render information, right? So that's where we could take the code and then like hook it up to chat gpt and then say, give me the different libraries. Once it gives me the different libraries, the ways, then I test it, I optimize it for the best performance. So I'm still desperately needed in the whole equation, right? And that's the exciting part, because I never knew these libraries existed before. Now I know, because ChatGPT has searched the world and given me like many different libraries.
Yeah,
I mean, when you get your hands dirty, right, you get really excited about the possibilities as a developer. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, Sudeepa, you were saying something. Yeah.
Yeah, without knowledge, if someone will start doing anything, then that will be whole mess, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. See, AI plus domain expertise will equal ingenious solutions, amazing solutions. We
Yeah.
can build amazing solutions. And novice plus AI is, may God help us,
Yeah,
because it will come up with rubbish. And then, if it is like retail or financial services, you will lose some money, or you instead of a coffee, you will get tea, no problem. But if you go to
Exactly.
manufacturing cars and trains and all that, it can kill people. So you got to be,
yeah,
that's where we will definitely be needed.
yeah.
In fact, actually, I would put it the other way. This is the most exciting thing for me as a developer. This is the most exciting thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically, I feel in my terminology, what I believe it was previously developers were sometimes get frustrated with the monotonous work, like drag and drop,
Ah,
pull, and all
ah,
those things. It will save that part actually. AI
yeah,
will save that part, but
yeah,
still the core technology where investment is required of the brain, you still have to do that. So this
yeah.
is what my summary,
Yeah,
my
definitely
understanding
logic
point
is
of it.
required. Yeah, design is required. For
Yes.
Yeah.
implementing the design, it will help.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
This is where
Yeah.
Beautifully put. Oh
yeah,
man, those are golden words. I need to write this
yeah,
down. I
yeah,
really need to write this down. Design is us.
yeah,
Implementing the
Yes.
design, yes, it'll help.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
exactly.
Design is human being. For
Yeah.
Yeah,
augmenting that, implementing the design, it will help. Not 100%, but
Excellent,
it will help
excellent
definitely more than
one
60%.
line,
perfect.
excellent one line. I'm going to write this down somewhere. Maybe I'll put it in my uh,
Yeah, it's
database of quotations.
yeah. If everyone says that it's single line you mention what you understand, what
Yeah.
Copilot is giving, it's a perfect statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely, guys.
Okay.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure, guys. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining. I learned so much.
Yeah, thanks. I think Sanjeev, we will end up because already we exceeded 30 minutes. I think it's anyways, it's a interactive session. It's not like if at the very first we mentioned clearly it's not like presentation or something. It's all about interaction, what build announced, and if you have any understanding, sharing, that is helpful. And it's really we have done the judgment to that. Maybe in that
Yes, yes.
note, we will wind up Sanjeev, Sudipa, and Tanu. Okay.
Yeah.
Super, guys. Super.
Yeah.
Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
Thank you.
weekend. Yeah.
Have,
Enjoy with
have a
family,
Happy
have a
guys.
great
weekend.
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
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 Bye.